Hey, welcome to the Jungle Brothers podcast. Joey here, Paulie. Today I'm going to take you on a little walk down memory lane. I'm going to tell you the story of when I did an F45 class.
Ah! I mean, I'm sure it was a great class. I just wasn't expecting that. I want to hear this.
You know, I didn't. I was like, oh, I won't mention the name, you know, because I'm not trying to like hang shit on a competing brand, right? But then it's also like kind of say like I don't need to hide the brand name. And I'm also not hanging shit. I'm just going to present. It's just a fascinating story because it's like a meeting of two different worlds, and I think that for folks listening, maybe this will be somewhat informative about what it is that we value and what we're into, and you know,
Okay.
and to also show that there are other fitness brands that value different things, and that's cool too. Like, right? So yeah, on the outset, like, we're in the gym business. There are all sorts of different gyms out there, and you won't necessarily like our one. But you might really like one of those ones, and that's the beauty of having diversity in the market.
Well said, Joe.
All right, now let me proceed to fucking flog this horse.
It was probably a few years ago now, would you say?
Oh, bro, it was ages ago. It was back when we first got the gym down at Banks Meadow, the first JB gym, and I was running classes in the park at Surrey Hills.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing classes in the park, and then I'd go on PT at Anytime Fitness in Surrey Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd come down to the gym and coach evenings or whatever. That was
Gotcha.
the cycle.
Yep.
And so, you know, we hadn't really established who we were. You know, we were on our way, but it was really kind of on this, like there was a lot evolving at that time. And, you know, I mean, to give credit, here's this gym that's successfully franchised and is out there doing it, and people are going and people are liking it, and so you know you got to kind of give props for that.
And at that time, we were actively researching, so we had to go and check out other brands. And I remember we had like a set of questions, and we had to come back and all review it.
Did we?
Yeah,
we did too.
It's
yeah.
like, hey, I went to this place. This is what was good about it. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah,
This
that's
was shit.
that spreadsheet.
Mm.
But yeah, so there was an F45, and from what I understand, it was one of the first like few in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty young at that stage, and it was in Surrey Hills. And so I thought, I got to go check it out. And so I jumped on their website and like registered for a class or whatever. And I got in there. It was an early, like a later or an early evening session. I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock or something. And place is pretty busy. And there's a guy, nice fella, you know, big strapping sort of dude that was like, "Hey man, you know, welcome. I saw you logged in for the class." He was the owner, and he was a really nice guy. And he's like, "Oh man, like what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, like," because he could tell I trained, and I was like, "Oh, like I do some PT down the road." And I don't think I mentioned that I had my own gym, or maybe I did, but I didn't make a thing of that. But I was like, "Oh, I do jiu-jitsu and I lift weights and you know some fucking handstands and shit." And he was instantly into me because he's like, "Oh, fuck, cool, man." He's like, "I love that stuff. Yeah, that's great. Hey, yeah, you know, this is, I think you'll be fine with the class tonight," kind of thing. And people were piling in, and it was getting, you know, it's getting busy quite quickly, right? And he ran this like really quick little warm up. He's like, "Oh, we got like 90 seconds before. All right, guys, you know, come on, just everyone gather around. You want to warm up a little bit?" Did some like lay on the back and, you know, open up the hips or whatever. And then it was just into like, all right, boom, station one, here's what we're doing. And the coach, who was a woman, I think, was just like, all right, this is the first station. You're grabbing these dumbbells and you're fucking doing this, all right? Doing this. All right, station two. And just proceeded to like demo and prescribe like 15 different stations. And then last one, you get to this and you
More than 10?
Yeah. You push the sled, you
Holy
push it back,
shit.
you know, okay? Everyone got it? All right, it's on. We're going to start in 5 seconds. And like music goes up and it's like game time. And and the movements were like, so I remember one movement was like, it was like a weight plate. It might have been maybe 7.5 kilos. Hold it up over your head.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to jump your feet like that. So you're like, kind of like staggered stance and then jump,
Like
jump,
taps
jump.
or something.
Yeah, just jump.
Yeah.
Like, that's one station. Other stations like, clean and press with the dumbbells.
Yeah.
Probably less than 10 kilos. I'm sure there was fucking squats in there somewhere, probably kettlebells.
Of course.
Yeah, just
Plank.
a bunch of shit. Yeah, planks. Yeah. And the guy, what I found fascinating, and so I'm there, like I'll rip into any workout as you would, and so it's like, yeah, I'm fucking give this a nudge. First thing I noticed was that I'm training alongside mostly women, and there was no opportunity to meet any of them. Like to be like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, I'm new here, or oh, hi, how are you? Like, because it was just like, you walked in, class is on, here's how you do these exercises, bang, workout begins. And it's run on that timer system, so it's like you do 30 seconds or 45 seconds, whatever it was, and you move to the next thing and the next thing. So there's no chance for interaction, right?
And there's screen assisting.
Yep.
Yep.
And so that's where they give you a very light intro to the movement, and then they have the screen there that's kind of showing you, so you can kind of reference that a little bit.
Is there a screen for every station?
No, but there is. But I believe the screen is cycling through the different stations.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think there's multiple screens in there.
Mm.
And so, because all the workouts come from headquarters, right? So it's all like very planned like that. But what was interesting was that the owner, he followed me around the whole workout, and he just wanted to bro down. And he even said to me, he's like, bro, it's so fucking good to have someone in here that trains, like, I feel like I can just fucking, like just fucking talk some shit with you. Cause he's like, to be honest, like most of the people that we're training in here are not like particularly, kind of thing. Yeah. Like
they're not fit.
And I was like, yeah, I get it. And he's like, fuck jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, kind of thing. And so that was really honest and I enjoyed that. But I also found it kind of funny, right? Like that sort of open acknowledgement of this is the product I'm slanging, but I don't fuck with that. Like, we know better, right? Like, it was that kind of, it was like a real double standard thing.
Yeah.
Which to me, like, wow. Like I could never build my business around that. I could never sell such a double standard.
Uh-huh.
And I commented on the movement selection. I was like, oh, fuck, or I commented on how quick we got into it. And he said, yeah, so the movements in the workouts, and things could have evolved since then, right? But it's a long time ago. It's probably, I don't know, 8 years ago. But he said the movements are selected intentionally to be safe and to require minimal coaching so that people can just get into it and they don't need to know much and we don't need to coach them much. And that was another thing that stood out to me as being like a bit icky, in that like we're not doing anything that might challenge people too much because we don't want to spend coaching resources. So then we're just going to do watery fucking lightweight stuff that doesn't really push the needle for anyone because it's safe,
Mm-hmm.
And as we know is not like that is not actually that safe in the long run, right? Because you're not developing any strength or body awareness or coordination. So you people are more injury prone, even if they're doing simple shit. And that was it. And so he kind of followed me around, and I did the workout, and I fucking won that shit. And it was whatever, it was fine. It was a fun experience. And then before you know it, it's like done, right? Like, because the cheerleaders in your face, well, you're doing great, let's go, yelling at you, music's up. You can't hear shit, there's a bunch of people in a room just flailing. And then before you know it, it's done. And then it's like the next wave is about to come in for the class. Like, all right, guys, fucking get the fuck out of here, kind of thing.
Fuck.
And so, you kind of thrust out onto the street like you just got shagged and then,
kicked out on your ass.
Yeah.
Couple of questions. So I probably should go there. It's still around F45, still kicking, still going.
It is. They did have a decline. They've had a decline.
Yep.
because they had a huge growth.
Yes.
But yeah, they're still there.
And so how long was the workout with that many movements? Was it
45 minutes, bitch.
bruh? With the warm up?
It's a functional 45 minutes.
So the actual working period was like 35 minutes with the
Probably.
warm up and stuff?
Probably, yeah.
So then
Maybe
he just
even-
says
maybe
go.
even longer.
Wow. And then you just go and the clock's going and the music's going and everyone's just moving constantly.
Yep. There, maybe there's 15-second reset between stations or something.
Okay. So it's all timed and they're moving across.
All
And then
time.
they just
just like cattle, you just like, boom, boom. I mean, we use those formats too at times, and it's an orderly way to control a room full of humans.
Yep.
The room's laid out and all of that in a very kind of way that's sympathetic to that.
Yeah. It's very functional for that HIIT format of training.
Yeah.
It's got to keep moving, go hard, but maybe not at the highest intensities necessarily.
So, do you have another question? Because then there's a second part to this.
No, I was just going to say, I just imagined, I can totally see what you mean when he was following you around like, bro, how you going? Meanwhile, like there's half a dozen Karens over there just fucking struggling with dog shit reps,
fully
trying to
need
do
help.
a lunge,
Yeah.
and they're all wobbly,
Yeah.
and
Just grinding their meniscus away.
basically,
Yeah.
I can just see that.
Yeah.
I just could see that picture so
Yeah.
clearly.
and I could sense that, and I'm like, this is making me feel awkward.
Yep.
But yeah, so then the second layer of that is I don't know, the next week or whatever, I was PTing at Anytime Fitness down the road, and I went to get lunch at this local sandwich joint, and it's really busy at lunch, and I saw the girl from the gym, the girl,
The assistant coach.
yeah, who I think maybe was a co-owner or something, and she was like, oh, hey, she recognized me and I recognized her. I was like, oh, hey, good to see you. And she was like, how did you like it? And I was like, yeah, it was good. And she's like, so you're going to sign up? And I said, no. And she was like, why not? And I was like, it's not really enough for me. And she was like, she just didn't get it.
Oh no.
And I'm like, hang on a second. Like, I mean, let's just be honest here. You do you think that approach is going? Do you think you're going to attract folks like me, kind of thing? I just thought, wow, what a silly. Like, fair enough to ask me if I'm going to join, but don't be surprised when the fit guy says no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Right? Because they fucking train already, and I just thought that was very funny. He had indicated to me that, like, he clearly thought I was above what they were doing. Mm-hmm. So like he kind of read the writing in a way. So yeah, I just found that really funny. It was a super awkward thing. I was like, oh, okay, well, see ya. And she was like, yeah, bye. And
damn.
yeah, it was a bit of a burn, but
She didn't get it.
didn't get it. And
She might have been early in her fitness career.
She looked like a weapon though.
Right.
She probably went and did CrossFit.
Right.
She probably was training on the side, just like old mate. So I guess at the heart of it, again, it's great, right? People find that fun, and maybe that fast-paced, like music-driven thing is really what someone else out there. It's the only way that they can exercise, because they're like, I don't want to come into the gym and think. I just want to be fucking kind of whipped a little bit and told and like starting gun. So that's great, but the real issues with that for me, I'll just reinforce those. One was this idea that you would intentionally make the workouts and the movement choice very easy so as not to challenge the people too much because they might get injured.
And also not require much help.
Exactly.
Coaching.
Not invest coaching resources, because that then is like, we're just here to get some calories burnt. Like that's all we're here to do. Versus we're here to learn how to move. We're here to learn this complex lift. We're here to learn how to do a handstand. We're here to learn some kind of thing that's going to take multiple weeks and months of layering coaching and strength development and coordination and challenge and difficulty and personal doubt and small victories to ultimately lead to, oh my God, like I've had a transformation. Whether that transformation was, you went from not being able to do good push-ups to doing good push-ups, or you were too intimidated to do a hardcore S&M Saturday class to now being able to do it and you didn't die, or, you know, you couldn't handstand and now you can, you know, like those victories are so many and varied. But I just was like, fuck, that's so short. It's so boring.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess they kind of accept that they're only taking care of, I guess they're segmenting a population group, which is, you know, say beginners only. And they're also saying that we're only going to take care of one aspect of your journey. So you could say one aspect of developing yourself, whether it's like his strength, mobility, coordination. They're kind of just taking care of burning some calories and getting full body movement a couple of times a week, but also like only for a period of time in their life. It's not sustainable for them to stay at F45 forever. Like they should rightfully be moving on to somewhere more advanced that has, you know, has some more challenging movements.
Yeah, I would think that that's like in practical terms sort of the case, but I don't think that's how they sell it.
Yeah, and
like they're like, this is all you need.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I think that, like you said, kind of fair play that they're doing that, but I also think it's just not the right thing to do, and definitely the way that it's framed is not setting people up for a good journey, I suppose. Plus, there's all the other risks that come in with the format of training, which is just get in there and start bashing away at it, because there's no real, I guess there's no context for movement in all of its complexities. Like just get in there and start moving, so you can get people injured, and I've heard of people who get injured and not taken care of there. Fucking hell, I feel like I should go and do a class there. I also like to think that their programming has changed over the years.
Probably has.
Yeah.
Probably has. But it is tough, right? Like because I think when you set that culture of you're going to get a lot of work done in a short space of time, then that kind of makes it very hard to like stop and invest time in coaching something, because it's like, I'm here to work. And we've noticed that with people that come here from a boot camp or some other kind of fitness group where it is really just about like moving a whole bunch, that they often have a real hard time like sitting and listening or standing and listening to the coach explain something, because they're like, I should be sweating right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, like while I think it probably has improved a lot and any organization can evolve in that way, I think that their kind of main selling point is probably still that. You know, there's some kind of, it's like, I can't help but think that's the thing. If I look at their major competitors now, Fitstop and BFT, they appear to have sort of evolved that model.
Yeah.
More kind of strength and conditioning based, a bit more science in what they do. I don't know if they stick to 45-minute sessions, but, you know, it's kind of like, okay, that was F45, cool. Let's lift the standard a little bit in terms of the effectiveness of what we're doing.
Fuck, we should go try out a class at one of those.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if they have evolved it, like, you know, how they balance fitting it all in.
Yeah.
You know, because that's always the challenge. Like, good things take time, take investment and stuff like that. I'd be interested to do that. Hey, I'm doing a fucking assignment for uni at the moment. And it's, what is it called? A personal health protocol, something or other. Basically, I have to set a health goal and write out the aims, why I want to do it, and then how I'm going to go about doing it. And then I have to track myself.
Oh, wow.
But basically, the whole thing's evidence-based. So what I measure it with, what the outcomes are, and how I go about it has to be evidence-based. It's pretty funny.
Do you know what your goal's going to be?
They're really trying to make it as simple as possible for students, because it's kind of a first-year subject and a lot of people just getting used to uni. So it's like, make it as simple as possible. I'm either going to do increase cardiovascular endurance or decrease body fat percentage. I'll probably do the first one.
Yeah, right on.
But it's just interesting because I'm sitting in class and listening to them for hours kind of lay this out for people and help them figure it out and listen to their suggestions. And they're all just trying to help them understand how this assignment works. And it's just, a bunch of people, a lot of people who don't train, and it's just interesting to see. It's really cool. There's nothing, the whole project checks out. It's really great. I'm just sitting in the back quietly thinking, fuck, what goal could I have? Because most people are like, increase steps for the week or increase physical activity for the week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. Kind of bit sort of broad and
and then some
specific.
Yep. And then some people are a bit too specific, and they're just kind of trying to help them set a goal. Your basic SMART goal. It's really simple.
Win a local bodybuilding competition. What about that? That'd be sick.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I could do that. I've only got 6 weeks though, lad.
Fuck. Just hardcore dieting from now, no carbs.
Bring on the equine diet.
I thought, what's that? The horse fucking...
I don't know. Isn't there
horse steroids and shit?
Yeah, horse steroids just into my butt.
I'd love to see you do a bodybuilding comp. That'd be fucking sick.
Oh, God. No.
But that'd be cool. Are you excited about getting onto some cardio machines and shit?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I am, because I'm playing soccer, and that's been the one thing that I've just shied away from the most is doing. I'm like, I'll just get all the minutes running around, but it's not. I need to do some fucking metcons.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm just gonna do a couple of different metcons per week, different formats. But I have to do the fucking research and follow what the research says.
Right.
It's pretty much going to end up that I'll write metcons here for myself, like running-based ones.
So talking to one of the guys at jiu-jitsu this morning, and he's like, "Oh, we had coffee afterwards," and he's like, "I'm gonna go to the gym now." And I said, "Oh, what do you do at the gym?" And he's like, "I train for like 90 minutes. I'll just do some like strength conditioning stuff." He's like, "I got this thing I do 30 seconds on the rower, 30 seconds on the ski erg, 30 seconds on the assault bike, and then 30 seconds of burpees. And I do that for 30 minutes.
No rest period."
And I'm like, bro, why do you fucking hate yourself so bad? Like, we just finished jiu-jitsu, and, it was like, I mean, it wasn't a hectic session, but I'm like, you just trained. He's like, "Oh, I just like it, And I was like, fuck, how fascinating. Yeah, it's, and then he does some weights and shit afterwards. But yeah, it is very much a style of training that we're not into, isn't it? And so it does have that thing where you're like, oof, damn, like sitting on a cardio machine or whatever, that's going to be, there's something intimidating about that.
I know. I've questioned myself on it actually the last couple of years. I would actually, I don't know, I'd like to be good at it. I'd like to want to go at it. Like, some people just do it all the time. I love to fucking get out and play football for 90 minutes for sure. Like, I'm not intimidated by getting out there and busting my lungs and working super hard. But it's just that discipline to go out there and go, okay, you're going to go and drown right now. It's all going to be over in 16 minutes, but you're going to go fucking hard.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it alone. Because I can go to a class, like, that's fine. But it's also kind of just been a really mid to low level priority for me. And, I think it is often, when you're time poor and stuff, like general movement, as in like just staying a little bit flexible and mobile, sitting a bit more and trying to make sure that I feel strong and I'm in, my joints are strong and stuff like that. It's been more of the focus. But just a little bit of conditioning. So anyway, that's why this project came along. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the thing that I really want to do.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. When I guess you gotta define the goal, and then you got to define the process you're going to follow to achieve it.
Yep. And the how you measure it.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm guessing it's going to be like VO2 max, or you can use beep tests and stuff like that.
Oh, beep test, that's grueling. I'm keen. Update us on the following episode.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
I will.
Boom, boom. Hey, hope you like it, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Sure.